Welcome to the Raven Quick Start Guide for macOS. In this video, we will walk you through configuring the hardware and the software for your Ravens. Let's begin. In the box, you'll find the Raven touchscreen, revitalizer spray with microfiber cloth, a power supply, a HDMI cable, a USB cable, a quick start guide, and a software voucher to download the software. To connect the Raven to the computer, first plug in the USB cable, HDMI cable, and power supply into the Raven. Next, take the HDMI cable and plug it directly into the HDMI port of the graphics card. Then, take the USB cable and plug it directly into a USB port of the computer. If using dual Raven and the computer does not have another HDMI port, users will need to purchase a HDMI to mini DisplayPort adapter. This adapter can be used to convert the HDMI to mini DisplayPort, which can be plugged into the Thunderbolt port or the mini DisplayPort of the computer. Connect the HDMI cable into the mini DisplayPort adapter and plug it directly into the computer's graphics card. Then, take the USB cable from the second Raven and plug it directly into the USB port of the computer. If the computer doesn't have enough USB ports, users will need to purchase a USB hub. Do not use an unpowered USB hub, as the touch panel of the Raven is powered completely by the USB bus of the computer. We recommend purchasing a powered USB hub. This will be sure the touch panels have enough power to operate smoothly. To connect the Raven to a computer with Thunderbolt 3, users will need a Thunderbolt 3 USB-C hub to connect the iLock and the keyboards. Take the HDMI and plug it into the HDMI port of the computer, and the USB should go directly into the USB port of the computer. If users have a Thunderbolt 2 interface, they will need to use a Thunderbolt 2 to 3 adapter to connect the interface. If using dual Ravens, users will need to buy an Apple multi-port adapter. Plug the HDMI and USB from the second Raven into the multi-port adapter, and then plug the adapter into a free Thunderbolt 3 port of the computer. To power on the Raven, push the top button on the back right of the Raven panel. If the Raven has power, users will notice a green light on the front. If this light turns orange, that means there is a problem with the connection in the graphics card of the computer. To adjust the contrast and brightness of the Raven, use the menu button on the bottom of the panel and the up or down arrows to navigate the submenus. After the HDMI and the USB cable have been plugged directly into the computer, we're ready to register the software using the passcode card that came in the box. To do this, navigate to my.slateaudio.com and set up an account. Please note, if you already own some Slate Audio products, use those credentials to log in. To set up an account, type in your email address, and password. Now type in your name, country, and zip code. Then hit complete registration. Now in our email, we'll need to confirm our email address. Here's the email here, and we will click here to verify our account. Now let's log in. After being logged in, users will see you can add your product registration code here, but before we do this, we are going to link our iLock account. To do this, click here, type in your iLock user ID, and hit verify. If users don't have an iLock account or iLock ID, go to iLock.com and you can set one up here. Please note, if using an iLock ID that is registered to a different email address, users will need to confirm that email address so the licenses are deposited in the correct account. Hit OK, and now go into the email address of the iLock ID. You'll see the email here, and you'll see the code R02. Copy the code, go back to my.slateaudio, paste the code, and verify. Now that the iLock account has been verified, we can redeem our passcode card and iLock license. So go back in your main page and hit Add Products. type in your passcode here, hit submit. Next, users will need to choose the DAW to be registered and activated. Every Raven comes with one DAW license. Now that the products have been added to our account, hit OK and enter the Raven product page. Download the installer. While that's downloading, users will want to activate the iLock license to the machine or dongle. Open up the iLock License Manager software, and in the Available tab, you'll see the Raven license. You can right-click it and choose Activate. Now users can choose whether to activate the license to the machine ID or the iLock. I will go ahead and use the iLock. Now that we've completed activation, it's time to install the software. Navigate to your Downloads tab and install the Raven software. Please note, on Catalina, users will want to right-click and choose Open. When prompted, hit Open again. Next, hit Continue to run the Raven installer and type in your password. Now, the Raven is going to install the Raven software, vControl Pro, and UPDD touch driver. After the Raven software has been installed, users can hit Close, keep the installer, and now go install the UPDD installer. Continue and install and type in your passcode. Users will now notice UPDD has asked for some system preferences. This will allow the driver access to the system. To do this, navigate to the Security and Privacy tab and click the lock. Type in your password, and here, users will want to be sure to hit Allow to allow UPDD access to the system. After allowing UPDD access, we will need to allow UPDD accessibility. So hit the Open Accessibility here, and in here we'll want to check on UPDD and UPDD Commander. While in this Accessibility tab, let's add a few other applications. So hit the plus button, add in the DAW, add in the Raven software, add in Automator, also vControl Pro, and finally Terminal, which is in Utilities, Terminal. Now we can remove these error messages and start using the Commander. Now that the touch driver has finished installation, we are ready to configure the touchscreen. To do this, click the hand icon in the menu bar and hit Identify. Now push and hold on the screen until it turns blue. Users can also check more touch settings if you go into the console. And here we have all of the options, and we can calibrate the screen. Run Calibrate, push and hold all the blue crosses, confirm that touch is working, and exit. Now that we've calibrated the screen, we can confirm touch works in the test app here. And we can confirm it works on the desktop. One finger drag, one finger push and hold is a right click, double tap, and in here, two finger drag will scroll up and down, rotate left to minimize, two finger double tap should open up all your applications.
The Raven dashboard now dynamically checks for hardware compatibility. So if users see any error message here, there may be a problem with the connection. For example, if the Raven USB cable is not plugged in, there will be an error message, touch hardware not detected. Click the question mark to expand and read more about how to fix the issue. Currently, the Raven USB cable is not plugged in, and there is no iLock plugged in. As soon as we plug in the USB cable and the iLock, these error messages will go away. To configure the Raven with Digital Performer, launch the Raven software. Next, click Open to automatically launch Digital Performer and the Raven toolbars. Once open, users will notice the play and stop buttons push down, but they don't control Digital Performer. This is because we need to set up vControl as a control surface in Digital Performer. To do this, navigate to the Setup menu and select Control Surface Setup. Next, hit the plus button and set Mackie Control, Input Port vControl Pro. Then hit the plus button, and now in the expander, select vControl 2. Hit the plus button again, and select this to vControl 3. Hit OK. Now you'll see the stop button is pushed down on the Raven. This means the Raven, vControl Pro, and Digital Performer are all syncing. To check the transport, hit the play button and stop, rewind, and fast forward. Next, open up the floating mixer and confirm you have faders. A great feature in Raven 3.6 is that the gestures automatically configure with the open DAW. So, if we swipe from the left, it'll make new tracks. We can make a selection and zoom in with 3-finger drag. And if we add a plugin, we can hide or show a plugin with a 5-finger pinch. And you can bring it back with a 5-finger splay. Another new feature in Raven 3.6 is the Favorite palette. This is a global floating palette that stays the same between all of the layouts. To customize this Favorite palette, hit the Customize toolbar and drag your favorite batch command into the Favorite palette. Next, hit Customize again to exit Customize mode, save the layout, switch to another layout. Go into Customize and drag your favorite batch command panels from this layout into your Favorite toolbar. Save the layout, switch to another layout, hit Customize, drag another set of batch commands into your Favorite toolbar. Next, save the layout. Now, when we switch in all of our layouts, we have our favorite batch command panels in the Favorite toolbar. Finally, in Raven 3.6, the Raven is monitoring the DAW. So when we close the DAW, Raven will prompt us to close as well. It will also switch back to our default gestures so we can get our scrolling and our finder gestures working from the top.
The Raven software includes our own skinned mixer that floats on top of Digital Performer that allows use of multi-touch functionality. The Raven faders are precise, smooth, and reactive with a 5-millisecond response time and with support of up to 12 simultaneous multi-touch points on the MTX, up to 6 on the MTI, and up to 10 on the MTI2. When mixing, I don't even have to keep my finger on the fader. It's easy to grab multiple faders from all over the console and control them however you feel comfortable, and you can do this without looking at the screen. We've also included rotary, multi-touch pan knobs on the Raven mixer. When using the Digital Performer mix window, the pans are linear and single touch. The Find Faders button allows for as little as half dB automation moves easily because I can quadruple the resolution. To adjust the response of the Find Faders, simply push and hold the Find Faders button on the Raven toolbar and move the slider left to right, 1 being slowest and 20 being fastest. You can also activate the Find Faders feature to specific tracks. Push and hold the dB display on the mixer, and the single track will turn yellow, indicating Find Fader mode. Press and hold again to remove just one track, or double-tap the Find Faders button to remove them all. I can bank tracks by swiping on the lower third of the fader plate, using one finger to bank one track or 2 fingers to bank sets of 24. Note, if there are less than 24 tracks in the direction you're swiping, the Raven will not bank. You can use one finger to continuously bank in the desired direction, and Raven will continue until you stop. In addition to gesture banking, we've included banking buttons located on the Raven toolbar that can be toggled between banking 24 tracks and 1 track at a time. Push and hold either of the banking buttons, like so, to switch between the two variations. The icon palette is designed to encourage visibility and organization. Press and hold the black square beneath the track name on the Raven mixer until the floating icon palette appears. We've included a few tabs of new default icons as well to allow users to upload their own icons for use in their Raven sessions. Details on saving Raven sessions is explained in a later section of this video. To place an icon, touch to select the image and it will highlight yellow. Then either tap the icon space where you'd like to place the image, or swipe across multiple tracks to add the image to more than one, as displayed here. To upload an icon to the palette, press the Browse button on the bottom right of the icon palette. Locate the image you wish to upload from the file browser and load it. The image is now located in your User tab on the icon palette. To place it, follow the same procedure as explained previously. To close the plugin, we've included a gold touch button located on the Raven toolbar labeled Close Plugin. Always use this when closing a plugin, as the close buttons on plugins themselves are too small for touch. There is also a Hide Floating Window button on the Raven toolbar that will close the frontmost window. With Digital Performer Mixer, open a plugin by double-tapping an existing plugin on an insert rack as demonstrated, and again, adjust, close, and recall the same as demonstrated previously. Loading plugins from the menu is done by tapping an empty insert rack and navigating through each of the plugin menus by scrolling. Note you can use 2 fingers on the Raven to scroll through the plugin lists. Then touch to highlight the plugin you wish to load and hit Select on the plugin menu. When adjusting plugins, note that most function by linear adjustment. However, Slate and other developers will offer plugins with multi-touch rotary capability in the future. The Raven external mixer has multi-touch access to the Send 1 through 4. Touch the Sends button to flip the Raven mixer to the Raven Sends. On the Raven mixer, I can solo or mute a bunch of tracks by swiping my solo or mute buttons. I can even skip a few tracks by moving my finger below the buttons and then continuing to swipe, easily skipping my undesired tracks. All of the tools on the top of Digital Performer are easily accessible on the Raven toolbar here. I can use my finger to easily grab regions, fade, move, and I can even use my finger as the pencil tool to draw an automation. I just change the automation to Volume, select my pencil tool from the Raven toolbar, and double tap and hold to activate the drawing tool and draw, like so. On the Raven toolbar, there's a nav pad designed for the toolbar, as well as a floating nav pad. Both function the same, allowing easy navigation through sessions. On the nav pad, you can adjust the size of all the tracks in the session. I can swipe up or down, left or right, to control the size of all my tracks in my session. Using 2 fingers on the nav pad, I can scroll through the session up or down, left or right. You can also scroll through the session with 2 fingers anywhere on the edit window, like so. When using the nav pad, you're not confined to the rectangular area around it. Activate the nav pad by touching inside the rectangle and then freely move outside of the designated area without lifting your finger from the screen. The nav pad is also capable of adjusting the response specific to the user's preference. Go to Settings on the Raven toolbar and press the nav pad response button. Adjust from 1 to 20, 1 being the slowest response and 20 being the quickest response. We've set the nav pad to default on regular movement settings. However, we have now included the option to invert the direction response by toggling to Inverted on the nav pad response window in Raven settings. The Raven software is completely customizable. Simply hit the Customize Toolbar button on the right of the Raven toolbar, and you'll be able to freely relocate your controls to a custom design, and even save each customization as different layouts by hitting the Save Layout button and selecting a layout number you wish to save to. The layout is now saved to that number and can be quickly recalled at your discretion. You can have up to 8 unique layouts per Raven session and unlimited Raven sessions, allowing you unlimited layout capability. When saving your Digital Performer session, we've included a touch button on the Raven toolbar that will save your Digital Performer session information labeled Save DP. We've also included a Save Raven Session button. This button saves a .rav lay file anywhere you choose on your computer. A Raven session contains information about what your layouts look like, which windows are displayed, where your floating tools are located, batch command location and contents, and even session icons saved. When making any changes to a layout, it's important to save those changes separate from the full Raven session. After changes have been made to a toolbar on a layout, hit Save Layout and then overwrite the current one by touching the highlighted layout. You'll see the Save Layout light turn off as a confirmation of its saving. Once your layout is saved, you can save your Raven session. These multicolored and/or gray buttons are batch commands. The batch command system is a series of single buttons that can execute up to 1,000 key commands, menu selections, and mouse clicks. The Raven software comes equipped with over 80 preset batch commands. However, it is also very easy for you to create your own and even share them with other Raven users. In Raven settings, hit the Switch Default Layout button to select between various types of preset default layouts we've created for you that specialize in specific workflows. Blank is as it sounds, an empty layout for you to customize and save from scratch. Basic is the layout that will load when the software is first opened and restored to factory default. Here we've created 4 layouts that provide a basic approach to the batch commands to get you up and running quickly. MIDI is designed for work with MIDI, and Advanced is designed for the advanced batch command user. To program a batch command, push and hold one of the batch command buttons. If empty, the menu will appear blank. However, if you are overwriting a batch command with previous programming, hit the Clear All button in the batch command menu and the button will be ready for programming. To enter a key command, hit the Key Command button on the batch command menu and then enter your desired key command. To the right of the key command on the command line, you can add delay to the key command prior to launch or even add a number of repetitions you would like the command to perform before moving to the next line in the command sequence. As an example, let's create a batch command to instantly name tracks anything we want. Now, if there is content inside of the batch command, hit Clear All to clear the content, and now let's program our batch command. Let's make a naming batch command to instantly name your track Acoustic Guitar 1. First, we'll hit Key Command and type the text we want to name the track. I'll type Acoustic. Now, hit Key Command again and hit Spacebar on my keyboard. Hit Key Command and type Guitar. To continue adding more track names in the batch command, hit Key Command and hit the cursor down arrow. Now, let's highlight everything in our command line and hit Duplicate. Now, we have a second track name already created for us. All we have to do is change the name from Acoustic to Electric. Once you're done with adding names to your batch command, hit Key Command and press Enter. If you continue adding more names, continue duplicating the sequence as demonstrated. Now we'll give our batch command a name here and a color. I'll hit the More button here to select a color from the color wheel. Once I like my color, I'll close it using the X on the top and hit Confirm. In the batch command menu, you can also access preset batch commands as well as the custom batch commands you've saved. Touch the QUICKLIST button to open access to preset menu item and mouse click items to program into your command line. In the batch command programming menu, touch the QUICKLIST button to gain access to the preset mouse click and menu items to program into your command line. Using the QUICKLIST, let's create a batch command that will instantly add my favorite vocal plugin chain to a selected track. In the search bar of the QUICKLIST here, let's type Add MW EQ Insert 1 Channel Strip and select it from the list and hit Select. Now let's search for Add Slate VTM to Next Insert. This will add the Slate Digital Virtual Tape Machines to the next insert. Select it from the list and hit Select. Now let's search for Add Slate VMR to Next Insert. This will add the Slate Digital Virtual Mix Rack to the next insert. Select it from the list and hit Select. Now let's search for Add De-esser to Next Insert. Select it from the list and hit Select. Let's name it Vocal Plugin Chain, give it a color, and hit Confirm. Now let's put it into action. Simply select the track we want to add the vocal plugin chain to, and hit our newly created custom batch command and watch it do the work for you. We've created tons of great preset batch commands across your layouts, and I've also shown you how to customize your own batch commands using key commands and QUICKLIST items. Another really powerful feature to the batch command system is the ability to record your own custom mouse clicks. Push and hold a batch command to open the batch command system programming menu. Now we'll hit the Record button and watch the batch command system record your mouse clicks and key commands in the sequence you perform them. Once completed, hit the Record button again and name your new batch command. This will save to your User Recordings tab for later use as well. Now I'll just add my new recording into the batch command line, give the button a name and color, and hit Confirm. Now, watch my new custom recorded batch command perform a key command and mouse click. Not only can you save custom batch command scripts, but you can also save entire batch command panels to easily relocate them across your layouts. Push and hold the batch command panel's label until a dialog window appears. Here you can name and color code your batch command panel, and save them to your quick list by hitting Save. Hitting Save will locate your saved batch command panel to the quick list here. You can see the name and size of the saved batch command panels here. To add a saved batch command panel to an empty batch command panel, press and hold the label area of the batch command panel until the dialog window appears and hit Quick List. Search and select the batch command panel you wish to load and confirm the size of the panel matches the quick list item selected by reviewing the size column. Once confirmed, hit Select. Now, just name your batch command panel and give it a color. Then hit Confirm. Importing a batch command is simple. In the Batch Command System menu, hit Quick List and select the User tab from the top. Now, hit the Load button and locate the .ravbc file on your computer. Select the file, and Raven will import the file into the User tab. Exporting is similar. From your User tab, select one of your saved batch commands and hit Export. This will save the file to your desired location and can now be shared with other Raven users. To go through our batch command basic training for Digital Performer, click here. For a comprehensive coverage of the basic preset layout, please review the user manual and videos located in Raven Settings here. In addition to the Raven toolbars, we've also included two fully customizable floating tool palettes. The first of the two is called the Floating Toolbar, and the other is called the Essentials palette. Both are designed for adding a select group of tools for managing screen real estate. I can add tools by, again, customizing my toolbar. When the tools are arranged on one or both of my floating tool palettes to my preference, I hit Customize Toolbar again, and my layout has been saved. I can then toggle them on and off by hitting the Floating Toolbar Essentials buttons on the Raven toolbar. The Floating Mixer is your direct access to multi-touch faders and pans in the project window. The Floating Mixer offers the same capabilities as the Raven External Mixer, including the ability to swipe solos and mutes, and even adjust the size of the window itself by hitting the Addition and Subtraction buttons on the top left of the Floating Mixer. I can even gain access to my multi-touch rotary pan knobs by hitting the Pan button on the top left of the Floating Mixer to toggle pans. A graphics card with a minimum of 512 megabytes of VRAM, such as the NVIDIA GeForce GT 330M, and at least 4 gigabytes of RAM. However, 8 gigabytes of RAM is recommended. We are available for you to answer questions or comments Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, via our online support help desk, slatesupport.com. From all of us here at Slate, thank you for your attention, and welcome to the future of Studio Control.